Hello everybody and welcome back to Umber Bay, where as you can see up in the top left, causing that bigger storm did not actually solve the problem. So it is probably just that there are stuff happening elsewhere. So anywho, back to the seawall. I did want to actually start putting the wall up onto this. Nope, this one. And this one. So if we go from like here, cannot build on water, so it has to be bigger. Well, that just sucks now, doesn't it? Because it was such a pain to even get these. But now for it to say that, but now for it to say that, oh, by the way, you made it too thin. We can't put it there because there's water there. And it's like, okay. So I gotta make these wider, apparently. Can I have this come up and out of the water? Okay, just like that. I'm sorry, I was just kind of trying to clear my throat a little bit more. It seems like everybody's getting sick though. It's like, and I did notice that there's like this really bad cold that seemed to have shown up like a year or a couple years ago. That is like really bad. It's like a new strain of the cold or something. It's like really, really bad. Like it fills up all in your, well, it makes you get a sore throat and then, in your nasal or your chest, and then it'll swap depending on which it hit first. So, is that clear? Still too okay, I need a better sized tool because this is just absolutely ridiculous. How big this thing is.
Meteorologists are issuing a thunderstorm.
And why can't I build it straight anymore?
Are advised to stay indoors.
It's like, do you see how crooked this is? It's like, even though I'm going straight up along this, it's like I can't seem to build it straight for the life of me. It's like every now and then it'll kind of do it, but and then some areas are just like, yeah, we're gonna bump out like really, really fast and make this even worse. So I don't know. I don't know what would make this better. Excuse me. Bump it out over here and then come back down. I wish there was an easier way to level terrain too. All the way down to here. Pull it back up. Man, this is... Alright, will this work now? Okay, there's some water on it, so let's wait for that to kind of settle out. Go on, settle out. And see if that's big enough. Cannot build on water. Really? Oh, but some of it can be built. Oh, because the water keeps on bumping up onto it, it looks like. Really? Now I can't build any? And we're gonna need just flat out more soil. And there's no mod, to my knowledge, in which you can import soil. Just do it like that, because that will level all of the terrain around it. That way I don't have to freaking mess with it any further. I can extend it out in a second, but now that we have our first little placement of it, I can Oh, oops. No, this one. Gosh.
Meteorologists are issuing a
Dang it.
thunderstorm warning for the coming days. Citizens
Maybe it
are
has to be a
advised
little bit
stay
wider.
indoors.
Come on. Yeah, man. Just a little bit wider. It doesn't like how thin it is because it goes into the water. And then that makes it perfect for a, if I can try to keep it as small as I can actually probably get a key around it too. So that will look actually really, really nice. Can we extend this out now? Did I get it good enough? Yes, I did. Okay, kind of. The water is a little choppy, so and I think I built the land a little low for being able to do this very effectively, because just above the water line, like, and I want it just above the water line if I can, but this is almost ridiculous. Okay. Yes. No. Come on. Okay. So it looks like it's going into the water on both those areas right there. So let's see if we can't bubble that out a little bit more and that out a little bit more. Just like that. To pull some of these areas that are kind of inside a little further out as well. Kind of like that. And then that should actually do it once all this water goes away. Oh, come on. Thank you. And that's how I want it. Just like that. So, yeah, just like that. Now then, as for right here, we are gonna need this wider too. And yeah, I do see that it kind of does the bumps all along this even. So, but still, this still isn't nearly as bad.
Meteorologists are issuing a thunderstorm warning for the coming days. Citizens are advised to
Well,
stay
this is the
indoors.
ever rainy city, so this in Rockdale. Actually, I should see if I could build the K around it real quick before I forget. And it locks right there too. Nice. Requires shoreline. Okay. Maybe not. It was a nice try, but let's see. Is that big enough? It is. I had it all the way down for a second. Just like that. Voila. Ooh. Some of this is like really kind of irritating to build because I'm not always sure if it's going to work. Okay, so fold it out. Of course, that one did have a lot more higher ground to it. So, but yeah, the number one thing I think that's going to stop me at this point is that I'm just going to need more soil. But I think I might just take that from the water. That I might just like siphon off just crap tons of soil from the bay. So, which isn't realistic at all. You wouldn't want the wet soil from a bay to use as landfill for the bay. I think I explained that in the last episode, but anywho, these seem to be going up a lot better for some reason though. That it's just not. Oh, did that have a little bit of water just run over it? Haha. It went green for a second, so I was like, you know what? It's going down. Continuing on, though. Let's try to line this up so we have something. Gosh dang it. There we go. Kind of. Nope. Go. Kind of. Okay, you know what? That's good enough. Just like this.
Meteorologists are issuing a thunderstorm warning for the coming days. Citizens are advised to stay indoors.
Yes, indoors. But when will it arrive? I think that's just a quick fix that Colossal Order needs to do. That the storms need to only, or like if a storm spawns outside of a created zone, don't warn the player, because if it's nowhere close to their city, why would they need to care? So, cannot build on water. Come on, is it gonna go green? Oh, can I Anarchy this actually? I cannot. So this is legitimate. I have to legitimately ensure that none of this is on water. Ah, if it goes good for a second, I am going to get it. That just threw a whole bunch of water up for a second too. Looks like we're almost done, but the issue is we have to do this like several times, unfortunately. Because remember, one wall won't stop a tidal wave. We need like 3 or 4 of these. So, because I do want to build out in this area, but and maybe I could put one more wall on the beach so that I need fewer out in the water, but still, yeah, it seems kind of, yeah. At least these seawalls are making nice land masses around themselves, though. That I make it just big enough for it to be able to place, and it actually pulls the ground up with it, just like that. It does make it flood for a second because it is pulling up a whole bunch of land all at the same time, but
meteorologists are issuing a thunderstorm warning for the coming days. Citizens are advised.
And I think I might just make this flat. Like, just, okay, it needs to go out right there and just straight in this direction. And it can kind of bump out like that, maybe this is how they first tried the techniques to get these walls out on the waters, that they just had a little piece connected to land just so that they could make it a little easier. And then once the city knew how to build it, they just, well, were able to go out on the water and build it. Come on. Clear up. Clear up. Yes, no. Yes, no. This might actually help Bastion too. Bastion City. That's how effective this will be, because it's, oh, come on. There must be like one spot that's too narrow, and I think I see it right here. Bubble that out a bit. We'll even bubble this out a little bit more too, just to be for trying's sake. Oh, come on. Oh, there might still be water right there a little bit. Or it needs to be bubbled out right there a little bit more. Yeah, I think right here. Let's try this again. No. Nowhere at no length. Wait, I had it right there. Okay, it's kind of going. So right there is good. You know what? I think I'll take it. Oop, the water did something. I think I'll take it to right there and then have it angle like that.
Meteorologists are issuing a thunderstorm warning for the coming days.
And there we go. So it kind of goes up onto the land. Of course, that won't protect all of right there very well, because if it comes in at like this angle, that's a pretty big hole. So let's continue the seawall, like, but from right here up like that. And just like that. So, okay, so we have one major line of barriers set up. And we need another. Another! Smash this glass. Which is kind of the second part, is that to get all of this buildable area, I have to build all this out here. But let's actually grab some more soil. We'll just make like a giant pit right here. How deep can this go? That's the question. No one knows. It's just my quarry. Let's put this at fast, because I'm going to need the money here, apparently. Also, this is eating water like no other, too, so I might have a small flood
issuing a thunderstorm warning for the coming days.
due to
Citizens are
this
advised
thing,
to stay indoors.
just because I'm making a giant hole that is then filling with water. Like, it's not something that just starts with a little bit of water in it already or anything like that. It just, I am removing negatives, or I'm creating negative space in which the water is happily filling. So go on this side just so that we can kind of deepen it.
Meteorologists are issuing a thunderstorm
Actually, you know
warning
what?
for the
Straight
coming
down.
days. Citizens are advised to stay indoors.
How deep can this go? Oh, I think I found the bottom. It won't go any lower than that, so let's try to make this more circular. Need to pull it out here and there. There's no way I used this much soil. No way. Okay, maybe.
Meteorologists are issuing a thunderstorm warning for the coming days. Citizens are advised to stay indoors.
The deep depth dig site. She had a if she had a letter on her chest, it would be 2 Ds. Jeff Dunham is funny with some of his jokes, but he gets a little weird every now and then. With it. And like his first ones were good. Like his first couple shows, but I think what happened was he kind of ran dry on the jokes. But it's like people wanted more, so it's like, well, you gotta give more. And it's not easy to do those kind of jokes either. I'll be the first to to understand and sympathize for the comedian community that doing jokes for people is hard. Like, it's one thing to have a critic that is like that they've studied the genre for like ever kind of thing. It's another when you have commoners, or not commoners, what's a better term for it? The I don't want to say unsophisticated, because that sounds pretty rude too. But unappreciative of the classic art. and this is who you're trying to please. This is who is judging you. Is this person who didn't really study comedy at all, or acting, or anything like that, and then you're trying to make them happy with what you can do. It's not easy at all, and I really sympathize for some of the comedians out there that have a hard time, because it's not that jokes are hard, it's just you have to ensure that you have the right audience too. If you don't have the right audience, you're gonna fail just as hard. But sometimes you just don't get the right audience. Like, how can I explain it? Like, Gabriel Iglesias, great comedian, but the thing is that he always has the best audience, and the main reason is because he speaks about life. Not a lot of comedians talk about current events and stuff and make jokes off of it, but not all of them speak about life. And I think that's what makes Gabriel Iglesias so freaking awesome, is that he's just like, dude, this is reality kind of thing, and this is my life. I'm though a comedian and do all this cool stuff, it doesn't mean that I don't have my share of problems. So gotcha. Haha. Now let's see how that flooding actually affects right there. It actually didn't. Okay, cool. But yeah, basically I just want these like little breaks where water can kind of go through, but the thing is it kind of redirects it rather than through these. It will redirect it sideways kind of thing. So, or at least that's the hope. Like all this like hyper current that comes down here because of that water pump.
Citizens are advised to stay indoors.
This kind of curves, but I'll do my best to kind of say, hey, right. Okay, let me just sit it right there, because I kind of want it right there, right? That's far enough in. A little bit further actually. So like right there. Measure one or measure twice, cut once. That's the kind of idea I'm going for right here. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a longer one. That's a little off, but that's fine. But yeah, so I definitely feel for the struggle that it can be to be an entertainer, such as a comedian, because like for Gabriel Iglesias to keep doing his jokes, he has to keep on coming across some really good stuff about life. Like, and he does a lot, if you look at it, he does a lot of stuff about his life. And maybe it's more the story sharing that is actually getting him success. That, yeah, it has a lot of jokes in it, but we get to see a real person who talks about their life and their struggles and stuff like that. I can actually very closely relate to the story about him finding his dad, because I had a very similar situation in which, not that my dad left, but that he just kind of lost custody, and let's just put it this way, that he lived his life very free, and like, I don't want to say it's a bad thing, because I have a friend that actually does stuff similar. Like, my dad did a lot of drugs, let's just say that, a lot of drugs, but he also had this kind of personality that's like, I don't give a crap kind of thing, which does not work well if you do drugs. Like, I have a friend who does mushrooms and natural stuff. Like, if it grows, he's tried it. He doesn't do anything manufactured, so just if nature provides it, he's probably tried it. And he's a really cool guy, because his view is to try to see It's really kind of hippie-ish. Actually, that's the best way to explain it. He likes to see the world for what it is, like to enjoy nature and enjoy life. My dad, on the other hand, well, it's from everything I've heard, and then, again, not to say anything bad about him, because I actually feel really bad when I got to see him again, because he was, well, partially, I was happy to see him again, but it's kind of sad because he was dying. So, he actually died a month after I got to see him again after, I think it was 20 years. So, but, and it's just, so the fact that Gabriel Iglesias is doing so well, I think is actually based on the fact that he just tells it he goes over his life. It's like, this is life. This is how I'm living it. And hey, here's a joke kind of thing. Like with him going to the morbidly obesity center because he was diagnosed with that he is diabetes or something like that, or like the early stages, and that it's gonna kill him, like legitimate. It's just straight up, you're gonna die. And so he had to he went to an obesity clinic to see. Oh yes, no, come on, come back. That was such a good thing. It like stretched the entire way. Oh yes. Yeah. Click, 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 click. But anyways, oh come on, seriously. Just that like one little tick. Gotcha. Anywho, but the idea is that like life is real. Like life is out there, and I think just people enjoy seeing the reality that other people struggle too. And it's important to understand that we all struggle. Even people who are famous struggle. Like, look at Robin Williams. He just kind of, like, he died of, like, you would think he would be the happiest guy in the world, but he died of, well, actually, I think they're saying that he had some illness or something like that, actually caused him to do what he did. But anyways, the concept is like, just people have issues too, and this is why I don't care about like tabloids and stuff. It's because, look, they're people. Yeah, they're gonna mess up. Why? I don't need to know about how they're messing up, you know, because especially as Americans, I think we idolize actors and people like that as the people that made it. That their life is good and nothing can go wrong for them. And that's not true. Not at all. Like, there are so many people who still have problems even though they're doing that well. Like, I think out of everybody who's actually become rich and famous, I think there's probably only, like, you can count them on one hand that have actually had a really good life that didn't have a terrible lot of complications. So, anywho, that's me ranting for this episode. And I just wanted to go over that because I thought it was a good thing to talk about. And like, I know this is boring work and I need to do this off screen. I really do. I still need to make those assets too. It takes a while and I just haven't had time today or yesterday or the day before. But anyways, anywho, I got into talking and I just wanted to kind of, this is how I feel about this. And, wow, we went from how hard it is to be a comedian to, how life is not actually perfect for those that we idolize. But I think it's just important for everybody to remember that, that life isn't perfect, even for those rich and famous people. Like, could you imagine all the trouble someone like PewDiePie has gone through? Like, I guarantee he's probably had a lot of issues. So his life I guarantee has not been perfect. As C-Nanners put it, I watch a lot of YouTube. But as C-Nanners put it, you, as a YouTuber, you get on and you show the best parts of life, because that's kind of what people want to see. Maybe not all the time, but the idea is you show the best parts of life so that it's feel good. Anywho, I think I've talked long enough, and that's about it for the episode. It's getting long, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Please do leave a like if you did. And do subscribe if you did, to catch the next episode as it comes out. I don't always rant like this if this is your first episode. Oh, hit my mic. Sorry. I do rant every now and then, but not always. So, but I will finish this off screen, and hopefully we'll get a tidal wave soon. Based on the timing, I think we are due for one pretty soon, but it is random too, so it's not like I could be like, hey, tidal wave, come on and try to get through this. But I do think this is turning out really well. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, though, please do leave those in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and have a good one. Goodbye.